Joining us on the phone line now is Ms. Kiran Bedi. Thank you for speaking with NDTV. Ma'am, your reactions to these developments that took place late at night?
Well, before I slept, that's what I heard him say, that he's waiting for the letter from the government. I believe, and I heard Mr. Subodh Khan Sahai saying a second draft is reaching. What happened to the second draft? Who read the second draft? And did we wait for the response of the second draft? I don't know. What did the draft say? I think we listeners need to know that. But Lathi charging sleeping people like that, I think it's a very difficult decision must have been for the police to take. And this is considered unethical.
Well, ma'am, from these pictures, there weren't too many sleeping people in that audience. Also, we're seeing reports, in fact, we can see in those pictures that Ramdev supporters did, in fact, retaliate. They were throwing stones at the police moving in. The police did meet with some resistance there.
Well, I guess more information would help us assess whether it had become a law and order situation which needed to be dispersed, or did it call for patience to get a response. I think that more details will show. But at the moment, I can say is that any movement against anti-corruption is not going to be easy. Because on one hand, it is people who lose that benefit and the status quo of enjoying the awards, enjoying the benefits corruption. On the other side are the people who are losing out because of corruption, because it's their money which is being stashed away overseas. I think one of the most important demands of Baba was something very critical, is how soon do you bring back the trillions of dollars, $1.5 trillion, as a Swiss private association has been saying, Indians have the maximum money in Swiss banks and overseas. I think it was not an ordinary demand, and it was very challenging to those people who would have been losers and who will be losers the day those names are disclosed and the money comes back.
Well, ma'am, as a former police officer yourself, do you believe the action last night was excessive, unjustified even?
Too early to say, but I can't imagine Lathi charging sleeping people. I think that's a very, very difficult decision for the police to take on moral grounds. Besides on law and order, but on moral grounds and ethics grounds, Lathi charging sleeping people is the last thing ever trained in a police academy.
Well, again, I would point out to you, ma'am, that at least in the visuals that we are seeing over here, it didn't seem as though there were sleeping people or unaware people at the time. There were a lot of people who were there, who were part of those protests going on, and they were retaliating. What do you believe the police should have done in a situation like this?
As I told you, more details once I'm not watching your visuals. I'm only responding to you right now. Yes. And even if I would watch a visual, it will only show where the camera is focusing. It would not pan around to say what was really happening. So you don't get a 360-degree dimension of the situation.
Well, ma'am, our reporters were on the ground there as well. But thank you, in fact, for joining us with your comments on the late-night drama at the Ram Leela grounds.